The following video is the opinion of the Missing Truth. Further information has been researched or has been provided by those in connection to this case. News articles and or information that is given or stated by law enforcement, family members, and or per social media. Any person or persons is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. 2 years. There's a lot of things that can be accomplished in a 2-year span. You can have 2 children in 2 years. You could join the Army and be starting your last year of your 3rd-year enlistment. You could become a nurse in 2 years, or could be starting the junior year of college. Unfortunately, Sonny Schrammick is not celebrating any of these milestones. Not that we know of anyways. The only thing significant about 2 years in Sonny's case is we're coming up on the 2-year mark of her disappearance. 2 years is way too long for information not to be given or released in her case. This is Sonny's story through the eyes of strangers. Sonny Schrammick was born on February 23, 2001 to Paula Johnson and Jody Schrammick. Growing up with having her grandparents both being teachers in her life, she was taught from an early age how to express herself and her talents. Sonny's parents described her as being a bright and artistic young lady, with drawing and dancing being the 2 things that stands out in their memories of her as a child. Her mom was more than just a mom to her. She was a friend. Her and her dad were close. He taught her how to drive and took her along on hunting trips where she killed her first turkey. But things started to change in her teenage years. The struggles of being bullied in school is more like the darker times in her life, but fortunately, she was able to change high schools where she was currently enrolled in at the time of her disappearance. Sonny married at an early age of 17 to a man that was 10 years her senior, believing it was a good choice, but went through more growing and trying to do things right, so was currently living with her mother. On April 20th, 2019, Sonny had decided to leave her Trenton, Nebraska home to go on a day trip with her 42-year-old acquaintance, Cliff Coates. How she knew this man is unclear because this information has not been released, but an article on social media written by a family member stated the male subject drove a white Explorer, was known to her mom, and mom knew Sonny was going to accompany the subject to Omaha. She was picked up by a 2004 white Explorer, which is believed to have been driven by Cliff Coates. It was stated he was going to Omaha, approximately 300 miles away, to pick up his niece and had asked Sonny to come along to keep him company. It is unknown if she knew of his criminal background of being in prison several times for numerous things, such as drugs and some other violent crimes. Sonny borrowed a phone and called her mom at 12:45 p.m. that day to say she had made it to Holdridge, Nebraska. Sonny's mom didn't hear anything in Sonny's voice that would indicate that she was scared or in distress. Unfortunately, this would be the last time Sonny's mother would hear her 18-year-old daughter's voice. An internet article stated that Cliff Coates called Sonny's mom to say that between 9 p.m. and midnight, he stopped at the Prairie Flower Casino, a gaming facility owned by a Ponaco tribe and on tribal land in Carter Lake, Iowa, right outside of Omaha. Cliff Coates claimed to have left Sonny in the vehicle. Sonny would not have been allowed in the casino since the minimum age for casino gambling in Iowa is 21. When Cliff returned to the car, he stated that Sonny was missing. But then a story changed. Cliff Coates initially told Sonny's mother that he came out of the casino, briefly searched for Sonny, and then left after he could not find her. Then a family member of Sonny's posted on social media on May 17th that Cliff later changed his story and claimed he was at a gas station, ran in to pay for gas, and when he came out, Sonny was gone. He couldn't recall which gas station, nor did he call anyone, such as law enforcement, to help him find her. He just left. Why would he do this, if this is what truly happened? Sonny was reported missing on the morning of April 21st by her mother to the Hitchcock County Sheriff's Office. Her mom knew something was wrong. Sonny and her mom were very close, and her mom knew Sonny would have called her or reached out to her somehow if she could. She was 18 years old at the time. It did not require permission to do whatever she wanted to do. She was a legal adult. She didn't have to run away. An Amber Alert could not be issued due to her being an adult status. An unconfirmed report of his criminal background check shows that Floyd Clifford Coates Jr. has a record of criminal activity in Kansas, Iowa, and Nebraska. In Kansas, he had 7 convictions for offenses including the sale or possession of drugs, theft, and an attempt to flee or elude police. He also had 25 disciplinary reports for incidents involving battery, lying, and having sexually explicit material. In Nebraska, Clifford Coates was convicted of false imprisonment, methamphetamine distribution, possession of a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon, assault by a confined person, theft by receiving stolen property, and marijuana possession. Since Sonny's disappearance, family and friends have searched, spoken with people, posted information on social media, and distributed flyers, hoping someone would recall seeing her. But now, almost 2 years later, Sonny is still missing. If there were any details or developments in her case, they are not being made public, and the FBI is still actively investigating her case. Sonny's family, including her husband, has suffered for 2 years without any news on Sonny's whereabouts or what happened that day. You would think the cameras at the casino and all the gas stations were checked to verify Cliff Coates' story, but the information, as all the other information in Sonny's case, has not been released to the public. Sonny has brown hair and blue eyes. She is 5'7", and at the time of her disappearance, she weighed 183 pounds. Sonny has a tattoo on her left shoulder of a feather with the letters FLY, F-L-Y. She also has a tattoo on her right ankle of a tribal sun in red ink. She has multiple scars, including a rectangular scar on the back of her right shoulder, a small square-shaped scar in the middle of her upper forehead, scarring on her ankles and shin. Scars from chickenpox are on her face, a scar on her left hand at the bottom of her thumb and forefinger, and cuts on her arm. Sonny was last seen wearing denim shorts and a black tank top. She also had a pair of jeans and a hoodie of an unknown color with her. Sonny did not have her phone with her at the time of her disappearance. She was last seen riding in a 2004 white Ford Explorer with Iowa license plate HGJ341. There have been no reported sightings or contact from Sonny since her disappearance. Clifford Coates has not been named a suspect in Sonny's disappearance to our knowledge. Anyone with information regarding this case is asked to contact the Omaha Division FBI at 402-493-8688. The administrators of the Missing Truth are sending prayers to Sonny and her family. May peace be with you all. For further updates on Sonny's case, subscribe to The Missing Truth to receive notifications. Like us and leave us a comment. Like our Facebook page and join our private Facebook group. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. If you have a family member or a friend that is missing or has been murdered and you feel they have not received enough exposure and you want their story to be told, contact us by email at themissingtruth1@gmail.com or send us a private message on our Facebook page. Always remember, some sort of truth remains in a lie. Have a good night.